Hi class, welcome back. We're going to go over example number 5. Example number 4 is very similar, but number 5 has more questions, so I decided to do number 5 to help you guys with those two examples. So the problem states that the cost in dollars to produce X designer dog leashes is C of X equals 4X plus 8. And the revenue function in dollars is R of X equals negative 2x squared plus 68x. Find the profit function given the cost and the revenue. So real quick here, we are given the cost and the revenue, and we have to remember that the profit function is R of X minus C of X, right? And we are going to be using this over and over throughout the entire semester, so please make sure you put these in your formulas that you need to memorize. So what we did here is we replace R of X with the function expression that it's given, and we did a direct substitution of C of X with 4X plus 8. Right, so it's important that when you use direct substitution that you put the parentheses, because we can easily make a silly mistake of not using distribution. So it is important for us to, every time you do a direct substitution, to put parentheses. So now the next part is to use distribution here, and so we end up getting that we can drop the parentheses for the first expression, minus 4x minus 8, which gives us minus 2x squared plus 68x, minus 64x, plus 64x, minus 8. And that will give us the profit function. So there you go. We found the profit function. Now it is important, just real quick, to keep these functions uppercases. If you decide to write it R of X as R of X, this is no good, right? It is established that uppercase R is the function for revenue. It's also the same thing for uppercase C of X. That's denoted as cost. And P, uppercase P is profit. There's a little actual letter we're going to use P of X to represent price, so it's important for us to distinguish. So be consistent. Every detail matters in mathematics, so that's part of the notation. All right, so the next part of the problem is asking us to find the number of leashes which need to be sold to maximize the profit. So if you notice, you already have the profit function. We know that it has a negative degree, so we know it's going to be like this. That's how the function looks like. So to find the profit, what we need to do here, as we mentioned before, we need to figure out what is the x value. This will tell you where the maximum is, and then we need to find the y value, and this will tell you what is the maximum value. So this tells you the location, x tells you the location where you can find the maximum value, right? Because x goes left and right, right? If your x value is here, then you're just finding some value, but that value is not the maximum. We know that the maximum will be the higher you are, right? So to find that maximum value, we mentioned last time that we need to use the vertex, right? That is the vertex. So I'll make a quick picture here, and here is the vertex, right? The vertex is the max, right? And so let me write down the equation over here as well. Okay, so we also said last time that this corresponds to your A, this corresponds to your B, and this corresponds to your C, right? So your A is negative 2 and your B is 64. So when you go back over here and do direct substitution, B is 64, A is negative 2, right? So you put it in the formula by doing direct substitution, right? B is 64, A is negative 2. And then you simplify this, and negative 60, you can put this in the calculator. Just be careful, make sure that that you don't that you put a bracket here so you can group those together. But it's negative 64 over negative 4, which gives you positive 16. So the number, so 16 is the number of leashes that you needed to maximize the profit. In this example, what you have here is, if you that x is the location, right? X is this one right here, right there. So you're able to find where that maximum is, right? That's, you already know what is the x value, where the maximum will happen. Now to find the maximum profit, we said that we need to find the y value of this, where this happens, right? And so to find that, what we're gonna do, the maximum value of y, right? This is your f of x, right? Or p of x in this case, p of x. So what we need to do is just plug in, right? Plug in 16 for x. So all we have to do is do a direct substitution of 16 in for x, right? And now this is a product, and that's, so -2 times the square of 16 plus 64. Oops, here that's supposed to be a 16. And then we compute that, put it in the calculator, and that will give us 504. Well, the profit is money. So what we're saying here is that the profit of this, so $504 is the profit, right, of selling this number of dishes, and that's actually the maximum profit, maximum profit. All right, so last part is find the price to charge for per leash, sorry, to maximize the profit. Well, that's a little bit tricky, but we go back over here and see what we are given. You're actually given the revenue. Remember what revenue is? Revenue tells you how much the total amount of money you're getting for selling this number of items. So what I'm saying here is, if you know you sold 16 items and you produce, well, let's try this again. So what we need to do is find the revenue for 16 items. So let me try that. Revenue is -2x squared plus 68. And so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna find out how much money we obtain for selling the 16 units. This will tell you how much you obtain, how much money you got. So it'll be -2 times 16 squared plus 68. And if we put this in the calculator, this will be -2 times 16 squared plus 68. That would be did I miss something here? 68x, sorry, that's an x here. This will be a 16. That was an x there. Alright, so let me try this again. So that'll be 576. That's much better. So what we're saying here is that you got a total of $576 for selling the 16 items, right? That's the total, right? So if you add how much you got for all the 16 items, you're gonna get 576. Well, if you want to know how much you got per item, what we need to do is divide the revenue by the number of items you sold, right? So that'll be 576 divided by 16, which is gonna give us $36, right? So $36 is the price per leash to maximize the profit. And here's a little trick. If you notice, there's another way you can find this. It says find the price to charge per leash. Charge money, per means division, leash number of leashes, right? Money per divided by leashes. So it does give you a little hint. It doesn't give you everything, right? But we knew that what we were looking for. We knew that 16 items is required to maximize the profit. So what we need to do is find the revenue, how much total you got, and then divide that by 16. All right. So the next part of the problem, part E, you'll be able to answer that on your own. So I hope you guys find this helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions.